Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Watch Autumn Keto. I was like, where are we? I don't know. Welcome to hashtag Owacka Wednesday. My name is Autumn, and this is my husband, Richard, and we go live here on our YouTube channel, Watch Autumn Keto, every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. for Whack Wednesday. But you can also catch us every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern over on our other channel, Watch Autumn. Nope. The Weathers channel, right? So yeah, be sure. It was, I mean, there's only two of them, right? So like wherever we are currently, the other one is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so welcome. I'm excited for in particular for this Whack Wednesday, the first Whack Wednesday of the month of February. Can you believe it? Because that's when we have Coach Bronston from Apex Training joining us, and so he will be coming on in just a few minutes. But before that, let me get into some greetings and salutations right quick. Mom's here. It's already February. Says good evening, everyone. Ice storm supposedly headed this way. However, I hope they get it wrong. That's the same. Everyone be safe out there. Happy Whack Wednesday. Yeah, guys, they're already canceling stuff. Like I had an appointment at the shop yesterday or tomorrow with the plumber, and he's like, no, we're not gonna be able to make it. And then the garbage is getting collected early. Like everyone is preparing for this inclement weather. And I'm just like, I hope we don't get it. But then it's just like an overreaction, and then like you're bored and nothing's happening because
certain places are. I mean, if you look at your radar, everybody
has somebody's getting it.
There's a snow.
There is something to get.
And it smushes together. There's a little stuff in the middle that's like that.
The wintry mix.
Yes, and that's what everybody's like, it's coming.
Yes. But is it hovering over us? You'll check out the radar.
It's more Indianapolis right now.
Okay, so it's higher up.
Yes, but it is going to come down, is what everybody's saying. So it's going to swath through the whole.
Swath, he says.
The Ohio's and the
Ohio's.
Indiana's, Ohio's.
To which Pamela says, beautiful day here in California. Be safe. Thank you. Humble brag much.
Pennsylvania.
Candace Cooper's here, says trying to stay awake for the live. Well, hopefully, I mean, with him, he's a hoot, so
Candace.
Hopefully he can keep you entertained. Tanya's here, says, hi, Whack fam. Good evening to you. Good evening, Tanya. Glad that you're here.
Yes.
Hook is here, says, happy Whack Wednesday, everyone. Finally stopped snowing, and we're supposed to get a few more inches tonight and tomorrow. Wow, that's nuts.
They're under the snow.
Pam says, sorry for your ice coming. I think we have rain coming in North Carolina, which is good. It snowed the last 3 Fridays. That's nuts.
The low part. Carolinas are too low, so they'll just get wet.
They'll just get wet. Moki's here, says, good evening, everyone.
And stuff get snow.
Brian's here, says, great evening, y'all. Hope everyone had a great day. I got to work remote with Karen today, so it's been a great day. Sure hope the ice forecast is a flop. Me too. Tip of the hat. Good evening to you. Brianna's here, says, good evening, everyone. No ice for us. It's going to be in the 40s, so just rain. I know, right? I want that. Matreya's here, says, woohoo, made it. I'm glad you're here. Yes, we had rain today. Wacky's here, says, good Friday evening, everyone. We are dry here in these parts until rain on Friday. Man, Glenda's here, says, good evening, everybody. So,
perfect little
Mom says she forgot to mention first, nobody cares, Mom. The Warden's here, says, hey, Wark fam. Teresa's here, says, good evening, all. Holding out on canceling my pool, lane reservation for tomorrow in hopes that the ice is not going to happen. Exactly. Let's cross our fingers. Keith is here, says, hey-oh, not first, but still the bestest. I love that for you. I love that that's what you think is going on here. Gigi's here, says, good evening, Mr. and Mrs. How was your day? It was great. It was very busy. Got a lot of work done. Yes. Still more to do.
Yes.
Jerry's here, says, good evening. Brian says, ooh, I love that purple t-shirt hoodie. Now you're tripping. You know it's blue, but it's funny. It's a funny joke. I appreciate it. Jerry Van West is here, says, good evening. Hey, it's hashtag Owacka Wednesday. You're right. I love that. Thank you. And Groundhog's Day. I appreciate that.
All the above.
Yes, D. All of the above. Shauna's here, says, hey, Whack fam. Happy Wednesday evening. Rhonda's here, says, hello. All right.
Good evening, Rhonda.
And once we get caught up, everybody's talking to each other, which is what I love to see. I know, right? I'm scrolling. They see me scrolling. Cece's here. It says, good morning. Good morning? Good evening? No. Autumn, Richard, and the family. Cold and raining here in Dallas. Ooh, snow tonight? Oh, Lord, don't do that. So, Brianna said, I don't know if they were messing with me, but my students wanted to know how we know if the groundhog actually saw its shadow. They were 16, 17. I still don't know the answer to that. So
that's the way the sun casts
But how do you know? We know if we can see the shadow, but how do we know if the groundhog saw a shadow?
Again.
You know what? I think that's a question.
Rodent.
I think that's a question for Coach Bronson. So
still like,
tonight we're talking about muscle and why it's so important, but we're also going to be talking about groundhogs and how they know whether or not they can see their own shadow.
Possum day.
No, it's a groundhog. They're cuter
day.
than possums. Have you seen the snout of a possum? Ain't nobody wants that.
Day.
Okay.
The raccoons saw his shadow.
You can't just name rodents. You can't just name rodents. What
happens when raccoons see their shadow?
No.
4 days of darkness?
No, I don't know. But everybody, welcoming onto the night, Coach Bronson. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, Coach Bronson, how are you? Do you happen to know about groundhogs? Just wondering. I don't. That's what I'm saying.
A little bit. I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't know. Google's probably smarter than I am, but I think I remember it's really not the groundhog at all. Like it's become such a thing in whatever Puxatani, wherever it is, that it's like a committee
that decides,
like says he saw it or he didn't, like something like that. Like, yeah, that's the last thing I remember. I mean, that's years ago I heard something like that.
Through the Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah, no. Yeah, pretty much.
It's going to be a bad winter. He didn't see it or he did see it. And that's another thing. I don't know which one is which. Like, if he did see it, there's more winter, or if he didn't see it, there's more winter. Like, I don't know. So, like, that whole thing is a sham.
If he saw when the sun's out, so that would be like more. I
don't know.
I'm confusing myself.
Mom's here says, "Hey, Coach Bronson." Okay, Coach Bronson, welcome. Glad you're here. So first of all, I want to remind everyone, and I actually was a decent human and put all the links in the description of this video, right? So Coach Bronson has 2 training programs that you can do. You get new workouts sent to you either every day, like 5 days a week, or 3 days a week, depending on which program you choose. There's a beginner program, which is body weight only, and it is 3 days a week. And then there's the functional fitness program, which is 5 days a week using the app, right? And so I have the link for both of those in the description of this video. So definitely be sure to check it out. Like if you're just like, I want to work on my fitness and my strength, but I don't know where to start, this is a great place to start, right? Also in the description of this video is the link to purchase your very own
Team Protein
shirt. Yes. Richard's like, what? A total coincidence that I happen to be wearing this shirt just on the day that we're talking to Coach Bronson.
Into the drawer.
And whatever comes out is just what comes out. But you too can flex and be a part of Team Protein by picking up the shirt in the description of this video. It is so soft. And I love that design, you guys. When I tell you I had nothing to do with that design, but I love it. I am not a graphic designer. I learned that, you got to know your strengths. You got to stay in your own lane, right? But I love that. So yes, I am glad that you were here, Coach Bronson. So catch us up. Tell us anything that we need to know, what you got going on, that you want us to know about. And then let's hop right into the discussion about, muscle and why is it so important?
Yeah, muscle. Gosh, it's really so important. I'm hot on muscle right now. What's going on with me? So things that are going on, things that everyone should probably know about, right? There's tons of events this year. Yes. So you have an event. There's an event in Orlando. Yes. There's a cruise in May.
Yes.
That I'll be on.
Awesome. I'll be there too. We'll be there too.
Yeah.
Yes. I forget I'm married. It hasn't been too long. I mean, I'm this week.
There's Salt Lake, Utah.
Yep, we'll be there too.
I'll be speaking at. There's Keto Con.
Yep, I saw that.
I'll be speaking at as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a few things, and then hopefully maybe there's other stuff later on in the year try to get to. But yeah, so there's a lot of different events. Go to lowcarbevents.com or lowcarbevents.org.
I think it is. I think you got the com. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then there's all kinds of stuff going on. Yes. Dr. Westman, if you're on the East Coast, Dr. Westman has a series of events going up and down the East Coast over the next year.
There's something in Atlanta coming up at the end of the month, isn't there? Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, wow.
But I'll see him in Salt Lake, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, okay, cool. I actually just had him on I just did an interview with him that'll be coming out in a week or two on my YouTube channel.
Awesome. Yeah. I love that. Now, how are you still doing Deeper State Keto? I want to hear about that, and then I want to hear if that has anything to do with you being hot on protein right now.
No. So I've always been hot on protein, always been into the muscle thing. I'm just the more I get into it, the more I'm realizing how backwards everything we've done is. Like so backwards. It's absolutely everything that we think we're doing. We just need to flip it on its head, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
It's something that is not talked about enough, in my opinion. And I think slowly I'm seeing more influencers and people start talking about this stuff on a more regular basis. They talk about it sometimes, and then they start talking about all the normal stuff we always talk about. And then this needs to be the normal stuff.
The only thing, yeah.
So we'll get there. As far as the deeper state keto, the stuff I'm doing with Rob, it's still going. We're still working on trying to find, like, my weight is maintaining. I'm getting leaner. And we're still in my happy place, right? So I'm still high. So I'm still higher fat than I normally would be.
Yes.
But my protein is still higher than my fat. I'm happy. So I'm happy. So right now I'm at a 185 protein and 160 fat.
Wow, that's crazy. What are you doing to get that fat in?
Butter.
Isn't it so good?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes.
So Ray said that she'll be in Salt Lake. Woo woo. Is Natalie going?
Absolutely.
Yeah. See you in Salt Lake. Come on now.
Yeah.
They just don't let us go any place without them now, do they?
Yeah, right.
We'll be there.
It's actually, look, Natalie will be in Salt Lake. She should be at all of them. She'll be on the cruise. She'll be at Keto Con, whatever, too. So
I'll tell you this, I won't be standing next to her taking any bikini pics. That's okay. You do you, girl. I'm just gonna stay over here. But she is we're just different levels right now, right?
The way you are.
I am the way I am. The way I am.
You're both on a journey though, so you got that in common.
Yes, exactly. We got that in common. Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Just we're the same as everybody else.
Yes, Blue Dove said butter all day. You right, like
butter all day long. No, so I also do fattier meat. So I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I'm like in love with lamb right now.
Yes, so ever since we talked about that last month, every time we go to the grocery store, Richard's like, here's our lamb. Here's the lamb we were talking about. And we're like, we're not getting lamb. Put it, move away from it.
So good.
So you're still doing the lamb?
It's lamb. But so now, so we switched it up a little bit. So we went on, I don't know why. She got a butcher box order. She got some deals. So then I got a butcher box order. And then for Christmas, instead of getting each other presents for Christmas, we got each other an exotic meat box.
Oh gosh,
so we went in together on an exact. So we got a box full of, we got kangaroo, we got antelope, we got ostrich.
No,
it's amazing.
We got some goat.
No, goat decent. I still haven't had it, but
there's a bunch of this stuff. So, it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Good for you. I can't. I does not compute. You know?
Yeah. So it's good. So we got the butcher box stuff. So we had a bunch of meat from there. So we've been crock potting the hell out of the pulled. We got the pork and the
that makes sense.
I had a venison rump roast that we had. That was fantastic. I don't know if you guys saw. So I have a floor freezer, and I'm a lazy cook. So if anybody can relate, you got food meat that's been in the freezer for a while. We found bottom roast, I think it was, that had been in my freezer for almost 4 years.
Oh my God.
Well, almost 4 years.
Yeah. We took it out and it took us 30 hours in the crock pot to recover it. But it was amazing.
That is crazy.
It came out perfect. 30 hours to cook that.
Brought it back to life.
Brought it back. And then I had a turkey that my mom had given me. That was a 25-pound turkey.
Oh my Lord.
That has probably been almost 3 years since that thing was in there. We took that thing out, and we have like 20 pounds of turkey meat in the freezer in the fridge now.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
I have to go through the freezer holiday or something.
I know.
Yeah,
Right?
we have more meat in this house in this apartment right now than I've ever had in my life. So it's
yeah, that's crazy.
and then we went to the store today and got like 9 pounds of lamb. So
I think that's a great like name of an album or something, like Meat Revival. You know, that's awesome.
You can never have enough lamb.
You can never have enough lamb.
No.
So let's talk about
butter,
muscle.
eggs. Let's talk about muscle. What do you want to know about muscle?
So the thought is, and it's just crazy. So here's my first question.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about keto, right? A lot of we're really coming around in the community on like, you should have more protein. Everything we kind of been preaching up to this point is just like not enough protein, But I still want to stress that I feel like in the beginning of your keto journey, it is very important to feed yourself the keto macros of having the majority of your calories come from fat, because you are training your body to burn fat as fuel. So I talked to a doctor about this on Clubhouse, and my whole, and most people's thought is I should just be able to decrease fat and increase protein because my body just knows I have extra fat and it'll start using that. And he said that unless you train your body to burn fat by eating it and by, strictly limiting carbs, not just upping protein, your body will still try to, you're still a sugar burner at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And that the only way to really train your body to burn fat is to eat that excess fat. Well, that, not even excess, but that 75% fat and severely limit carbs, and then keep your protein moderate in the beginning, right? So I want to know your thoughts about like how far into keto and or fat adaptation can you just, switch the macros?
Immediately
from the very beginning.
Yeah. So here's the reason. Because whenever someone's coming, particularly from the standard American diet, mm-hmm. they're not just coming from being carb burning. Mm-hmm. They're also coming from being undernourished.
I mean, that is very true.
Right. So it's not just a matter of changing how your body processes fuel. It's mm-hmm. also a matter of providing the nutrients your body needs to function. Mm-hmm. So that when it does get the fuel, it processes it efficiently. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you may not need to go high fat. You may not need to go fat you may not need to go high protein. Mm-hmm. You may not need to go protein over fat, mm-hmm. but you probably do still need to increase protein.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, like, honestly, I remember when I first started keto, my macros were like 120 grams of fat, 80 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbs. And I just think back to that. Even if I was eating those 120 grams of fat, I feel like I should have still been eating more than 80 grams of protein,
So that's why my protocol is 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Around the board.
And Lord knows I didn't hear about that till 3 years into this thing. So
yeah, right. So if you have 130 grams or 130 pounds of lean mass on your body, mm-hmm. then you should be getting 130 grams of protein, 130 grams of fat.
Wow. I have 120 pounds of lean mass, and I know that because I step on my body composition scale.
There you go. Yeah, body composition is key to this whole process, and that's goes along with where I think we've messed it up so far. Not we, just in general society, all the messaging that we get is just backwards, right? We're focused on weight, we're focused on fat loss, weight loss, and that doesn't fix anything.
Yeah. Not if you don't, especially if you don't have the underlying, skeletal and muscular structure to back it up and support it.
Absolutely. So here's the thing about muscle, and this is why I'm super excited about this right now, because the one thing on this journey. So I've been in fitness for 10 years. I've been carnivore for four years in May. It'll be 4 years.
Oh,
and this process of learning and figuring out how all this stuff fits together, the more I dig, the more puzzle pieces fall into place. Mm-hmm. And the last couple months, the research I've been doing, particularly around the metabolism. What is a metabolism? What is it? What drives metabolism? What is muscle? How do we use it? Why is it important other than moving our body? Mm-hmm. Right? Because if I say you need to build muscle, what's the first thing that you think to do?
Lift weights.
Okay. How does that help you see better?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't. What controls how your eyes focus?
Your eyes? I don't know. That's a trick. Your brain?
Muscles.
Oh,
your eyes focus with the muscles in your eyes that change and dilate
true.
your pupil.
That is true.
Right?
I never thought about that.
What controls your breathing?
Your heart.
Your diaphragm.
Your lungs.
Your diaphragm.
They're still
your
muscles.
Diaphragm, right? Muscles. Yeah. What controls circulation? Muscles. What controls your bodily functions of digestion and reproduction and defecation and urination? Like everything in our body is controlled by muscles.
That is true.
Right? So the more I dig into this kind of stuff, I'm like,
Blue Dove says the iris is muscle. I don't know if I knew that.
Right? It's like, wait a second. I don't like how are we not talking about this?
Yeah.
Right. So I made a I don't know, to me it was an epiphany, a discovery, whatever you want to call it, a couple months ago. I start looking at BMR, right? Our base metabolic rate.
Yep.
And everybody looks at that as your calorie burn, right?
Yeah.
I used to call it your Netflix and chill, right? Right. It's if I'm sitting on the couch, watching Netflix all day, this is how many calories I would have burned.
Yeah. I actually stayed in bed, but Netflix and chill is much better option.
Yeah.
I think it provides a clearer picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say it puts everybody in that mindset, you know exactly what
so but then I started thinking about it. I said, well, wait a second. I'm going through the process, and I've done this multiple times. Every client I've ever worked with has done this. If our weight determines our BMR, and if we lose weight, our BMR drops. We have to reset our BMR so that we can eat. We have to increase our calories so our BMR goes up, so that when we drop our calories, we burn more fat. Like all of these shenanigans we have to do with playing with our calories.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then how come I just lost 10 pounds and my BMR went up?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not just your weight, it's your body composition.
It's muscle.
Yeah.
Muscle drives metabolic rate. And here's why. Because your metabolic rate, and this is the key, this is the kicker, guys, is not how your body burns fuel. Your metabolic rate, think of the number, instead of thinking the number as calories, this is a total brain blow, brain thing, right? Instead of thinking of your BMR as a number of calories burned in a day, think of it as a rating of performance.
Oh, okay.
The higher the higher your BMR, the better your metabolism is functioning.
I love that.
The lower your BMR, the less efficient it is.
Okay, so that is a great, I love that. I think that's a great tool. Now, do you have like ranges for, either like ages or weights or things?
Haven't gotten there yet. That one is way complicated. That one is way more complicated to get into.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that go into what makes up the BMR and how that's calculated.
Yeah, so my BMR is typically like 50, it's in the 1500s. And I do notice that like when my muscle mass is heavier, like I can lose weight on the scale, but my BMR increases. That's actually a measure of how well I'm doing. Like if I lost 10 calories over the week, I'm just like, man,
Yeah, right.
And it's easy to get back as you build, but like that is something I actively look to increase is my BMR. So it's cool that I'm kind of already looking at that.
Yeah,
because I'm hungry. I like to eat. I want to.
Yeah.
Keto was the first diet, lifestyle, way of eating where I saw people like trying to see how much food they could get away with eating, right? Like it wasn't this notion of like, I'm going to eat less because that's what we have to do. People were just like, I'm going to up my calories to 1800 and see if I can maintain this loss.
Yeah,
and I'm
right.
like, okay, I'm going to go to 19. I was like, you're looking to eat more. Like, I feel like keto was the first lifestyle that gave me permission to want to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I love that.
Starving yourself.
And that's the thing. So the more I'm digging into this, and once I realized, like, wait a second, BMR isn't how we burn fuel. It's a rating of performance. Okay. So if my body fat is going down, if my lean mass is going up, if my metabolic conditioning, if my fitness is increasing, and my BMR is going up, that means I'm healthier.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to lose weight.
Yes. No.
So because if I'm looking at my BMR, if I'm looking at my skeletal mass, I'm looking at what I can do with my body, my focus is entirely on improving what my body can do and how my body's functioning.
I mean, that's just literally kind of like where I am at this point. Like, I just step on the scale just to have the data points. And really, I only pay attention to my weekly weigh-in, which is where I use my scale that has my body, like my body composition. But like, I wake up every day, like, focused on my weightlifting workouts. Like this is the thing I'm striving to do, right? Like, I want to eat as well as I can, making the choices, the good choices as often as I can. But the thing that I will not compromise, and the thing that I have to get better at, and the thing that I have to do is just to lift my weights, like to do the program. And so I'm just, and I say this all the time. I do. No, I do it. Yeah, like that's where I'm succeeding, right? And I say that the way that I'm eating and like my lifestyle, it should result in fat loss. It just should. Like with the amount that I'm eating and the amount that I'm lifting, as your metabolism gets better and you increase muscle mass, that should result in fat loss. But honestly, that's not my focus as long as I'm building muscle, So like that's where I've really been at for like the last couple months.
If you're doing keto or any diet for fat loss and that's your focus, you will always be doing keto or a diet for fat loss. You will never stop.
I mean, I feel that. I definitely
because you never fix a problem, right? Think it's literally, guys. I was trying to think of an analogy that I could use when I talk about this. Your body right now, if you're doing this, your body is in a tub overflow with water, and you are in the bathroom trying to clean the floor while the water's still coming out of the tub.
That's deep. It just you just replace it with another. Yeah.
It's you're gonna be there all the rest of your life. You're gonna stop, you're gonna start, you're gonna stop, you're gonna try this, you're gonna try that. You got to do this hack. Oh, here's a special sponge. Oh, here's a special mop. Oh, use this bucket. Right? You're gonna try all these special things.
The water keeps
and coming. The water's still coming. Right? You got to figure out how to turn the faucet off, how to clean the plug.
Yes.
Right. You got to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you have to worry about it.
That was a preacher.
I'm sitting here like, oh my God.
That's a mic drop. I feel that, like, I really do feel that never ending, like it's never going to be enough sort of situation.
You're attacking the wrong problem.
Yeah, because you're attacking the wrong problem.
I pay attention. I'm watching.
It is.
That is legit.
Body fat is a measure of your metabolic health. It is not your metabolic health. Okay. The measure of a thing is not the thing.
The thing, yeah.
Right. So keep that in mind.
Yes, that is
just one of the many gauges.
That is so deep. So would you say?
I like it.
Is there ever a time, say you're like morbidly obese, or you just you really have a lot of fat to lose? Is there ever a time? Because I used to always ask, and I think I even remember asking, Robert this too, the Keto Savage. I was just like, if I'm working out, which one should I focus on? Lifting weights and building muscle, or like burning fat and doing cardio and like doing, or both of them? And he said that you should, and I don't know if this is from his bodybuilding background, but he said you should honestly focus on one at a time, because if you end up focusing on both, you're like halfway doing both, right? So if you're focusing on building muscle, then put all of your workout effort into building muscle. But if you're focused on losing fat, put your effort into like, fat burning exercise, and don't try to like do cardio really hard and then muscle really hard, because like you end up halfway doing both. And the point is to do one the most efficiently and effectively you can. So what are your thoughts on that?
This is where you're talking when it comes to being a coach, where we triage and prioritize and put things in an order of priority. So the goal for me as a coach working with somebody is, how can we improve your quality of life as efficiently and safely as possible? So for somebody who is morbidly obese, that may initially be getting them to a point where they can get out of bed, because right now they can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
Right. So that may just be diet and some mind work and mindset training and things like that at first. When they can get out of bed, maybe we take the next step. But that's going to be very, very subjective and individualized. I think for most people, if you have any level of mobility, any ability to move your body around, you can do some level of both.
I love that.
If you can
and honestly, I was just like, if I had to choose, or like, it's not that you have to choose, but I was just like, if there was one of these that I wanted to get really good at or like be focused the most on, it's just building muscle. Like, I just see the solution or the benefits of muscle building so much more. But to your point, if you're morbidly obese or in a much different situation, it might make sense to just focus on fat loss and or weight loss and or your mindset that changes the way you view yourself and the ability to accomplish things, to start there, right? But I agree, like we can
we always go back to what's your why and why are you doing this. If your goal, and this is where I think a lot of people, where the fat focus comes from, people don't know what their why really is. Okay, a lot of people don't dig far enough to find what their why is. Okay, so they look at the first thing that's in front of them, which society is telling them they need to look at, and that's their body fat. So they say, I got to lose my body fat. So for two things: number one, it's superficial. So it's not going to last long, which is why they have no motivation, no determination, no commitment, and no sustainability in what they're doing. Number two, it's not the real problem.
That's
right? So they're working towards something that's not going to get them anywhere to begin with. So not only is it superficial and it's not going to last, but they're giving themselves all this stress and added effort and work and change in their life to not do anything anyways.
Yeah, and and that exact thing happened to me.
It's like you're mopping the bathroom.
It was when I started my keto journey, I had fairly good success. And then I started, my goal has always just been to get to the 160s, to the 150s. And even in 2018, I started Deeper State Keto, which is a really great program. I just, I think one of the things that they beat home was just like, make sure you're eating enough in the beginning. You're going to be dropping your calories. So make sure you're eating enough in the beginning. I did not make sure I was eating enough in the beginning. I was just like, I know better. Like, I don't really need to start at 2,000 calories. That's too much, right? So I started at like 1,600 calories. Exactly. I started at 1,600 calories. And by the time I got down to the end, it was at 1,200 calories. And I walked around hangry all day. 1,200 calories a day. And I got down to, like 155. That was my lowest weight on Deeper State Keto. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like the last day 90, I stepped on the scale. I looked at myself and I was like, wow, 155, I did it. But I still did not like the way I looked. I said, what? I still look like this at 155, and I had to suffer so bad to get to 155. There's no way I can get any lower than this and so what was the point of everything I just did if I still don't even like this, And that's when I started like realizing, well, what will make me like the way I look, right? And that's really that's when I cut my hair. That's when I did the color. That's when I was just like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to look, right? And I'm finding that it has less and less to do with my weight and more to just do with literally what I see out of my eyes when I look into the mirror, And and that really, I tell people all the time, like that goal weight is a sham. It's a lie. You do not know what number in your head is going to make you like what you see in the mirror. There's no number.
There's none. None at all.
I really just had to get over that, And so right now I'm sitting at a good 40 pounds over that. But for some reason, I have the audacity to be happy about it.
Oh my God.
Great,
Oh my God.
Exactly. And I'm just like, am I allowed to still feel good about myself, even though I'm 40 pounds heavier than my lowest weight? But I was just like, I really do. I can't fake that. I can't fake that I feel great, And I just think it's like triggering to a lot of people or just like confusing to a lot of people. And I feel like they're like, oh, you're probably in denial just to like make up for all the weight gain. But I was just like, just because you don't feel it don't mean that I can't feel it, and I've really been focusing on that this past year.
Yeah. And that's what I want people to understand is that if you're worried about your weight, you're going to be worried about your weight until you stop. sometimes I say things that I'm like, really? Did I just say that? If you're worried about your weight, you're going to be worried about your weight until you stop worrying about your weight.
Worrying about your weight. Man, I mean, but that is so
right. I mean if you're tired of worrying about your weight, then don't.
Just stop. That's what I was just like, wait a minute. I was like, the only reason I'm failing is because I'm telling myself I'm failing for not being at that low weight.
Right.
If I just stop telling myself that I'm failing,
here's some things you can tell yourself instead. Yeah. Right. Here's okay.
He said it's so freeing not to weigh or worry about calories. I mean, I feel you.
Absolutely.
I feel you.
Absolutely. You can focus on losing fat. Okay. Here's the things you get from losing fat. Fat loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you focus on building muscle and improving the things that your body can do, okay, you get strength.
Yes.
You get risk prevention. You get better hormones. You get better metabolism. You get better glucose utilization, lower blood sugar. Okay. You get
better mobility,
improved mobility, improved immune system.
Man.
Improved all of the other functions in our body that we talked about that require muscle. Right? Vision and breathing and circulation and reproduction and digestion and all of those things. Right? I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
The things that you get from focusing on building muscle and quality into what your body can do is always going to be far more rewarding than just trying to lose fat.
Fat loss. That, I mean, I believe it. Blue Note says it's so hard to get away from the mindset that I should eat the least I can get away with. Exactly. I used to struggle getting 100 grams of protein. I easily top 160 today. Woo woo. Hashtag team protein. I mean, yeah, it's a total mindset shift.
Now we're raised from birth.
You know, so like
change all that.
I could enjoy eating food to the degree with which it's nourishing my body. You know, like I can enjoy, like there's nothing that can, should stop me from sitting down and eating 5 eggs and some steak and just loving all of it because it's nourishing my body versus like, oh, how much am I allowed to eat or I shouldn't be eating this much.
When we see how few rice cakes we could eat when that was a thing?
Exactly. Like I'm going to try
3 rice cakes.
I'm going to eat these puffs of air to try to make me feel full, but I can't. Mary T said, I love that. Don't worry about your weight. You're not feeling. I know. I truly don't feel like I am. But I just want to say, I was really triggered this morning because somebody commented on my channel that they were unsubscribing from my channel because they needed to see someone that was losing weight on keto, not making excuses for the weight they gained. And I was just like, well, girl, you can go somewhere else, girl.
Thanks for letting me know.
The comment though, but I was just like, it's just weird. Like some people feel like it's just, if you're not losing weight, you're not succeeding. And I was just like, that's not true. It's just not true.
That goes back to what I was saying. Okay, so we'll talk about some more muscle stuff because I want to talk about how much muscle you should have.
That's important. Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, I don't have ranges for BMI for BMR for people. I think in general, it really doesn't matter. Right. You are where you are. If it's increasing because if your body composition is changing, you're increasing your lean mass and you feel like you're adding to the quality of your life and your BMR is staying the same or going up, then you're that's where you need to be.
I feel that.
Really, the number is really kind of unimportant. It's more about is it maintaining or going up? Then you're good. As well, you pair that with I'm getting leaner, I'm building muscle, I'm getting stronger, I can do more things, I have more energy, I'm like all those things. That's all part of it. And that goes to there's no such if you're if you're focusing on improving your quality of life and every choice you make moves you in that direction, you will never plateau.
Mate, I mean, preach.
You will never have a stall.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the reason people are stalling right now, because they're focused on one metric.
Yes. Yeah.
When there are 40 metrics out there.
And the crazy thing is they're focusing on the one metric that they can't really control.
Absolutely.
Like you cannot control what the scale says. You really can't.
Well, like, especially if you eat anything, because the way the body works is
Right.
it goes in one hole and
you know, and that's what I just said. I mean, I totally agree with that, because if you are taking those there's never a day where you can take an action to be like, oh no, I'm stuck in the same spot. No, do something different. Take another action. Do more, and you'll never be stuck in the same spot.
Yeah, if you want to get into this, like, let's just talk specifics real quick. We're going to go a little nerdy, okay, on the exercise science side, right?
Talking to the right crowd.
So, if we talk about the metrics of health, okay, health. Let's go the other way. Fitness improves your metabolic efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Eating the right things allows your metabolism to operate more efficiently. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
I want everybody to understand that allowing your body to operate efficiently and improving how efficiently your body operates are two very different things.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right. I can put good gas in my car. My car's still going to run like crap if I haven't tuned it in 5 years.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So nutrition is
the
fuel.
I mean, honestly, you can put good gas in your car, but it don't matter if you never turn the car on. Like, if you're
that's a whole nother thing, right? So if our metabolism, if fitness and nutrition improve basically the bottom line is fitness and nutrition improves how our metabolism functions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If our metabolism by definition is the function of our body, then the better it operates, the more healthy we are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are 20 components to fitness, right? I'll just go some of them, right? We got 7 essential movements. How does our body move?
We learned about those at Keto,
right? We have 3 metabolic pathways that our body, 3 ways that our body, based on the intensity or time that we're working, 3 ways that our body burns energy.
Mm-hmm.
We have 10 components of fitness: strength, power, speed, agility, flexibility, coordination, balance, right?
God, I love that.
20 components of fitness equaling indicators of health that have nothing to do with how you weigh.
That has nothing to do with your weight.
Nothing to do with how much you weigh.
I mean, I just, it's so funny that I'm just like, I just so wish that people would get that message, that more people would get the message. But still, it's just going to be like, oh, I weigh too much. And I'm just like, you can just like tell them all of the information, but it's still just going to go back to, but I want to weigh less.
You got eventually. You got to keep saying it. And so this is one of the things that I'm grateful for, the position I'm in right now. Right. I've been doing this for a long time. I started doing the online thing the beginning of 2020, 2021. Wait, what year are we in now?
We're in 2022.
I feel like we lost a year. Like, I have no idea what year we're in.
It's 2022. I literally feel like people think that 2020 and 2021 were like
the same year.
Yeah,
no, right?
Because in 2021, I would reference, last year, but now we're in 2022. It's like, last year. It's like, no, that was 2020.
Right?
2021.
That pause year was really big.
We're at the point where that was like 2 years ago.
Like a glitch in the matrix. Everybody just forgot that whole year.
It's gone.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what happened.
So 2020 is where I really started doing the online thing and started getting into that. And I'm realizing that my message has evolved as my experience and exposure and trying to figure out what I feel like people need to hear. But I'm at a point now where I'm pretty clear with what I'm passionate about and what I think matters. And there's one thing that I've done that it drives me crazy sometimes, but I've joined a ton of beginners groups, beginner keto, beginner carnivore, stuff like that. There are hundreds of thousands of people in these groups.
Yeah.
they all ask the same questions
Yeah.
every
My mom says that. My
day.
mom is in some like keto Facebook groups, and she's like, it's the same questions over and over again. I don't know how the people that run the groups do it. I'm like, that's what they're there for. I mean,
absolutely.
they're beginner groups.
Well, most of these groups are so big that there's no moderators. I mean, if in a lot of them, actually, the moderators are doing more spam sales than other stuff.
Right? That's just their
but there are
platform. So
thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that need help.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that I could replay this video every day for the next 10 years and someone new is going to hear it.
Yeah.
Well,
right. So the message, I'm totally fine. Just say the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, to say this. I mean, and I feel that, and Dr. Barry said that. It's like, I know, as a content creator, as a sharer, you feel like, saying the same thing again and again to the same people, but it's, new people hear it here and there, and that's what's going to be their introduction to like a completely new way of thinking, right? And if you don't say it because it's like, everyone's already heard it, like you can't take that chance. Like it's up to you to make sure that like everybody knows.
And you don't know where everybody's at in the journey. It's like some people who you're so far ahead that they're just now getting to where you started at.
Yeah. So. And that's why it's so important. He says it is amazing that people don't realize that keto is not a weight loss diet. It's a fat loss and body recomposition diet. Exactly. And the more you improve your fitness, the more you can do that, in stride with the fat loss.
Yeah, Heath, I'm going to take you one step further and say that is true in the results, but it is not what it's about.
Yeah.
Keto is about improving how your body functions, which will result in improved body composition.
Yes. Exactly. It's about really just like feeding your body the actual food that it needs to thrive, which should result in fat loss. Like that is just really, I'm
turning the water off and fixing
that's
the plug,
my messaging. Like I am no longer trying to lose weight. I'm just, I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to eat in a way that my body can utilize the nutrients efficiently enough that should result in weight loss. It just depends. Like, but that's not why I'm eating. And like you said, that's why people abandon the diet and the lifestyle, because it's like it didn't work. But like, work for what? Like, what are you trying to do? Because in giving your body the nutrients it needs, yes, it did work. It's the only thing that works.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you're focused on fat loss, you're always going to be focused on fat loss.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's never going to go away. You're never going to stop.
Is your mobility better? Is all the other stuff?
I did 31 days of BBBE. My weight went up, but my belly and waist decreased. When you have over 100 pounds to lose, it's very hard to be full happy with just the decreased inches. It's such a battle in the mind. Yeah, and depending on where you are in your journey, and
that's where the fight always happens.
Really just happens in your mind, but it's something that you have to work on every day. It's not this thing where
give it weapons.
Because we just give it tools. Exactly. Just because different things happen to us every day, in just our mood changes. Like sometimes you're feeling high, great about yourself. Other times you're feeling, what's the point of this?
Here's something I think everybody should do. And I'm going to say this. I'll say it so you guys can get it. We'll talk about it. But if you're struggling with the scale, with weight, with focusing on fat loss, focusing on losing weight, and you feel like you're making progress, you see the non-scale victories, but you still feel discouraged because you just can't get your head unwrapped around the idea of I need to be lighter. Sit down, get a piece of paper, and write down one question. Why do I want to lose weight?
Wow.
Why do I want to lose weight?
And I honestly bet that the answer, so the number on the scale will say a less number, is not one of them. Like you don't want to lose weight just to simply see a number on the scale go down.
That's definitely a loaded question.
You think that when the number on the scale goes down, all these other things will happen: increased health, increased mobility, increased this. But just for seeing the sake of that number go down, if you still had all those problems, somebody framed that to me. It was in Clubhouse a long time ago. They were like, what if you looked the way you wanted to and had peak health and loved everything about your body, but the number on the scale didn't change ever again. You know, it was 210 pounds. And I was like, I don't care what the number on the scale says. If I look the way I want to, if I like the way that I look, if I am like healthy by all the measures of health, it's not about that number. When people chase the number, they think it's because it's going to give them all those other things, you know?
So, and that's the trick to this process, going through this process. So that's only the first question, right? So the first question, why do I want to lose weight? Spend some time, think about it. Don't answer, don't write it down and then write an answer.
Exactly. You gotta be
write it down on a piece of paper, think about it for a day or two, and then come back and put a real answer.
Yeah, don't lie to yourself.
Once you write that answer down, whatever that answer is, I want to lose weight so that I can have more energy. Let's say, okay, awesome. Why do I want to have more energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So why?
Go through that process 7 times.
Oh my God. For like each why, like dig into the
every
why.
Single answer to every single why, ask why.
Wow.
If you can't get there, okay, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to get there, and then you get to number 7, and you'll 99% of the time, that's the real reason you want to do this. Okay. You may get to number 4, and you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be sad. You're going to be happy. You're going to be jumping up and down in your seat because you want to punch something or you want to dance.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why you're doing it. If the reason you're doing this doesn't make you emotional, then it is not the reason you're doing this.
Exactly.
Man.
Because it has to be real.
And it'll never, and it'll just always, something will always get in the way of it.
Something will always get in the way.
Not in that.
Every single time.
Joe Ray said I was going to start my own group, but there are so many keto groups out there. Same. I was just like, y'all, honestly, I was like, y'all can have it. Like all those beginner groups, y'all can have the beginner groups.
So you just put a cardboard cutout of yourself. Like
Holly said, I'm doing measurements this year, measured and have lost inches from the last month, but weight has not really fluctuated.
Yeah,
exactly.
Holly's falling right into that mold.
Lisa said, when you say 1-to-1 fat to protein, what number should we shoot for? Goal weight, short-term goal, or actual goal? So that's a good question. And then also, let's get to how much muscle or protein we should be having.
I start with your lean body mass. So if you don't know, if you have a body composition scale that tells you what your lean body mass is, that's great. If not, then you basically take your body fat percentage, if you have that, right, divided by your body weight. And then that difference. So if you have, let's just make it easy. You have if you weigh 200 pounds and you have 20% body fat, right? So then you've got 40 pounds of fat. So you've got 160 pounds of lean mass.
Yes. That's the goal. That's the goal.
So then you make your
body fat. Pew, pew, pew.
So then you make your protein and your fat in grams mass at 160.
Okay, but should your goal but you remember you said at one point, I guess here's the funny thing. I guess if you're 200 pounds, your goal weight might be 160, because I remember they said like Joe, I think, mentioned like eat at your goal weight and like your actual eventual goal weight.
Yeah, goal weight is a secondary if you don't have lean mass.
Yes. That makes sense. Okay.
Right. If you can get your lean mass number, then that's the number I would recommend going off of. Yes. But if you don't, then go off your goal weight.
Yes, that makes sense. So how much muscle should we have? Are you talking about a percentage range or like a weight in pounds?
It's a range.
Okay.
All right. So this took me a long time to figure out. Thank
you for giving us the secret.
Exactly.
If you go out and you search on skeletal muscle mass or whatever, just what is skeletal muscle mass? So I'm not talking about lean body mass. There's a lot of stuff out there on lean body mass. The problem with that is it doesn't actually tell you how much muscle. Like the largest amount of muscle in our body is the body that is the muscle that's attached to our bone. Right, it makes the most difference. It's the muscle that we have the highest opportunity to affect growth in.
Love it,
because it's attached to our bone.
Yes.
Right, so that's the muscle we want to focus on. Okay, because I can go to the gym and increase my muscle mass just doing that. Right. So there's nothing. I have not been able to. I've been looking at this for a couple of years. I have not been able to find anybody that has a recommendation for percent of skeletal muscle mass that we should have. Body fat percentages are out there.
Yes.
Right. There's information. If you really dig, you can find what the average lean body mass percentages are for most people. Nobody's making a recommendation. And this is where I think, I'm like, God, why is this is what people should be targeting.
The third rail.
So if you take, in-body scanners will give you your skeletal muscle mass. I don't know. There's probably other scanners out there that will give you skeletal muscle mass.
Yes.
If not, find an in-body or find someone that's got a scale that can give you your skeletal muscle mass.
You think it's like would a DEXA scan do it too?
I guess a DEXA scan should give it to you as well.
Yeah.
In-bodies are just way more accessible in general.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you need your skeletal muscle mass in pounds, and you do the same thing you would with body fat, right? Your body fat in pounds to your body weight, that gives you a percentage. So take your skeletal muscle mass in pounds to your body weight and get your percentage.
Okay, actually, I have my skeletal muscle right here. It's a percentage, and so
they give you a percentage right up.
Yes,
that's awesome. That's good.
Yes, so it literally says skeletal muscle. And so my last weigh in, I was like 200 pounds even.
Okay.
And then I timed that by the 31.9% skeletal muscle. And it's, oh God, that was the wrong number. It's 31%. Okay, 200 times.
Well, if it's giving you a percent, then you don't need to do it because that's the percent.
Oh, that's okay. So the percent is what you're after, not the actual number in pounds?
Correct. Because most scales don't give percentage for skeletal muscle mass; they give it in pounds.
Okay. So I have my percent. What percent range?
The target for women is 40.
Oh gosh, I gotta grow.
Yeah.
So okay, I got it. I'm at 31.9. So I mean
that's above average.
Exactly. See?
Gotcha.
The average for the U.S. population is 28%.
Wow, that's crazy.
So sad. We need to get better at that.
Yes, that is.
Okay.
That's crazy.
High performing athletes are in the 40 for women are in the 45 to 50 range.
Oh wow! Once again,
or higher.
Yes. Oh goodness.
Right. So for women, regardless of age.
Ooh, he got y'all right there.
You need to be trying to build 40% of your body mass, 40% of the weight of your body should be muscle.
Wow.
Awesome.
Skeletal muscle.
Skeletal muscle.
So guys, once again, there are tons of scales out there now that are, that have this. If you want my exact scale, it's in my Amazon store, which is in the description of this video. And I think it's only $50-$60. They even have cheaper ones than that these days, because I've had this scale for like 4 years, right? So I'm sure they got better and more iterative, but this one still, I really like it, and it gives me a lot of information. That being one of them. So it's now I'm excited because now I have yet another thing to chase.
And that's why I want to get this out there. I want people to have something else to look at.
Exactly.
Right? For guys, it's 45%.
All right. 45? I know what to shoot for.
Okay, we're gonna have you step on that scale. See what's up. Going on. So, Natalie's here says there's nothing more powerful than the 7 levels of why exercise. I could not.
Look at Natalie. That's my first time hearing it.
So
see, I had the inside track.
Yes. Yes. Mary T said, "Told you." Thank you. See, I'm above average in my skeletal muscle. Thank you very much. She also said, "Oh man, there goes my age excuse." Yeah, but you're doing so good, Mary, with your exercise. Hopefully, you and your friends are still doing that Zoom workout, right? But yes, focus on the lifting weights. But that's just really what has just taken over my goals.
Well, that's amazing.
Honestly, has nothing to do with my weight.
That's change as well.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I got here. Hold on a second. I got.
Oh yeah, we gonna do. I can't wait.
I'm just okay. So the age thing.
Yes.
Okay? In case anybody's saying, "Get it, Joe Ray."
Yes. Whoa, 42.9.
Get it.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Now, how do you calculate it if it gives it in pounds?
Just divide it into your body weight.
Yeah, just divide it into your body weight. So if your skeletal muscle mass is like 30 pounds, then do 30 over your weight.
Yep. Ray's rocking it.
Right? I know, right?
Just so about the age excuse, or the age thing. Okay. in case anybody is like, well, it's hard to grow muscle. I can't grow muscle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too old, whatever else, right? As we get older, it's supposed to be harder to grow muscle, okay? My
to.
mom is 68 years old.
Oh, man, your mom is nuts.
I got her numbers here. Hold on. I got her numbers here. She is currently, and she's gone down. So she was at, does she have it in here?
I love that you have a spreadsheet with your mom.
She has a spreadsheet.
She has.
So prior to COVID,
both the same person.
Prior to 2020, at the beginning of 2019, the beginning of 2019, she was around 41% skeletal muscle mass percentage. So she was a percent over my target.
Wow, yeah, the target,
After COVID, changing her workout routine, she had COVID. There's a bunch of stuff that's going to be going on. She only went down to 38.4.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
You maintain,
right? So she's basically maintained. She's been able to maintain through this whole thing over the past 2.5 years.
Wow.
She's been able to maintain right around that 40%.
I gotta get there.
That's
right?
Amazing.
So, and she's, I mean, she's 68 years old. So
exactly.
If she can do it, if she can maintain, she can do it.
I think it's your notion of just like start where you are. You're not going to be able to do what a 36-year-old can do. And that's not the point. You know, like it's about improving yourself and your metrics and your numbers.
Yep. Somebody asked me, how soon will you see progress from working out or from improving things? Immediately.
Yeah, I feel like immediately.
Your body responds to the stimulus you provide it as soon as you provide it.
As you're doing it, like
so
sweating is seeing results, or that is something happening. Bluto said my Fitbit scale is slacking. It doesn't do any of that. The thing won't even do body fat. That's a regular scale at that point. Just get rid of that.
Right. You have to erase the Fitbit off of it, just write scale.
Yes, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. Of just. It starts immediately, and you can feel the change immediately. I was talking about this a couple of days ago. I was accidentally I had my ring light on because I was like making shirts in the morning before I was working out, and I kept the light on. I accidentally kept the light on while I was working out, and as I was lifting weights, I could like see the shadows of like
I was
like, oh, I'm like, I'm on myself every time. I was just like, this is inspiring right here. Seeing these little shadows happening.
Become your best self.
I did. I was just like, man. I mean, it happens.
Airbrush and keep it there.
Exactly. I need one of those shirts with the airbrush six pack. Yes, but yeah. I mean, it is. It's immediately, and it's so much more. I mean, in my opinion, it's so much more rewarding than seeing a lower number on the scale. It's just so much, and that's just what I'm chasing. Like, and I love my upper body is one of the first things that change. Look, you see my shoulder, my shoulder right there. But my upper body is one of the first things that like starts to change, and like I can actually see the balls of my shoulder, and like I can see the lines in my arm. I'm just like, you can't tell me nothing at that point, And so it's just I've just really given up on the notion of. Like there's this number on the scale that's going to make me feel like I've got it all figured out. It's just not.
Yeah. Your quality of life has nothing to do with how much you weigh.
Oh, your quality of life has nothing to do with how much you weigh. I mean,
it's all about how much you can do.
That's a preach right there.
How much you can do is what matters.
That is it. Mary T says, I just wish I could do a push-up properly. I keep trying. It's my biggest goal at the moment. Notice I said a push-up. I'd be happy with one. Girl, I still can't do one. Get on them steps.
Get on the stairs, start on the wall, get on the stairs, the back of the couch, something like that.
I'm telling you.
Start high. As you get better, then you just slowly bring it closer to the floor.
I've worked my way down to the third step, and like I feel so great getting the full range of motion. Like when I can feel like I'm going all the way down, even though it's down on the third step, and pushing myself up, like getting that full range of motion is so much more satisfying than even trying to do it on my knees or on my feet and being able to just like go down and then push back up,
That's another thing. If you're trying to learn, this is going to get some people. If you're trying to get better at push-ups and you're doing them on your knees on the floor, stop.
Stop. And you said that at Keto, knee push-ups aren't real push-ups.
Knee push-ups aren't real push-ups.
Hurt my heart.
The thing that makes push-ups hard is not how hard you have to push through your chest. It's not an arm or upper. It is arm and upper body. What makes push-ups hard is that you have to keep your body straight while doing
it's like a core. It's like an entire tensing of the thing. Lower the whole thing and push the whole thing
back.
back.
So if you can't maintain a plank while you're doing it, you're not doing a push-up.
Yes.
So if you train not in a plank,
yes,
then you're missing the point. So you do everything in full body, toes.
And that's another thing. People end up just like bending their arms, but their butt's in the air. It's like, the whole point is for the whole thing to go down and the whole thing to go back up.
Yep.
Woo. I feel that. Rhonda said mine's 44.2%. Okay,
girl.
Rhonda. Terminator. Man. So, that's absolutely.
Rhonda is like
that's awesome.
That is amazing. Okay, well, we are coming to the end of the road because it is almost my bedtime. Coach Bronson, this was a great discussion. Is there anything that you want the people to know before we leave for today?
Oh my God. No, just focus on improving your life. Stop focusing on losing things.
Man, focus on gaining things, not losing things. That's deep right there. That's I'm gonna write
quotes all day.
Focus on gaining, not losing.
Like 3 different t-shirts.
Man, I love that. The more you gain, the more you lose. I feel that. I mean, that's just like that's amazing. I love that.
What did you just say? The more you gain, the more you lose?
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that.
I'm writing that down. I love
that. That's awesome.
Look, I have a Keto Palooza pin in every room in my house, and so it's like I'm writing that down.
Yep.
And so, but yes, okay. Well, thank you so much once again, everybody. You can click any of the links in the description box below. The 2 programs that Coach Bronson has, either the beginning one or the functional fitness one, and then the Team Protein shirt. It's still just one of my favorite designs ever that I had nothing to do with, but I absolutely love it.
That's what I'm
okay, well, so Coach Bronson, thanks so much for joining us, and you'll be here every first Wednesday of the month for hashtag Wacko Wednesday.
Yeah. And don't forget, guys, hop over to my channel. I'm trying to get my viewer rate, my viewer hours up, right?
Oh,
I gotta get that worked out.
Give that man some watch hours. Watch through those things.
It's Muscle Matters with Coach Bronson.
Yes. Oh, you changed it.
I changed it. It's Muscle Matters.
Love it.
So the link is still Get Fit with Coach Bronson. I haven't changed it yet, but the channel name, if you're searching, is Muscle Matters with Coach Bronson.
I love that. You should design that, and we can make that a shirt too.
There you go. Yeah. And that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I do a live every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I have another video that I usually put out, usually Thursday or Friday, some kind of interview or some educational thing. So
awesome. Muscle Matters with Coach Bronson. I mean, it does. And so head over to the YouTube channel to watch that out, to watch those videos. And thanks so much for being here with us. And we'll see you next month. But in the meantime, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the above. Make sure to follow Coach Bronson wherever he is. See him live and in person out here at these events coming up. Right?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a busy year.
Yeah, it's gonna be the tour. Yeah, we hitting these streets. Okay, Coach Bronson, have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk later.
Thank you, Coach Bronson.
Bye. Okay, guys, that was an excellent
conversation. So informative.
Yeah, it was just so much, just sprinkly nuggets, just sprinkle nuggets of man, that is such a different way to think about that than the way that we've thought before, right? So hopefully you weren't going to say that. So hopefully, the discussion has given you a different way to think about things, right? And it's so easy to say throw the scale out, forget the scale doesn't matter, right? That's easier said than done. But hopefully you can start to just keep these nuggets in your mind of just working toward getting to a place where it might not control your mood and things like that, right? And so don't feel bad if the number on the scale matters to you and things like that, but just realize give yourself more credit than just the scale. To give yourself more credit.
And that it's just a snapshot in one exact moment in time.
One moment. You are more
eat something and be done with something later.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your entire journey, the sum of your actions is just more than that.
Focus on the plug and to stop the water instead of mopping the floor. Because you'll be doing that
forever. You'll be mopping, bucking. You'll be sinking in a sinking ship. Okay, everybody. You're making me tired. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Once again, don't forget, you can catch us on Friday over on the Weathers channel. Yes. Don't forget to check out Coach Bronson in all of his online, wherever he is, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah. So have a good night, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye.